Here come the Golden Eagles. Clark onside, loses his skates. Now the puck cleared to center. Oh, what a check there. What a hit by Sabrin. No penalties called. Phoenix trying to carry in. Offside is whistled here. What a wild start to the second period.
Yeah, he collided with Darrell Williams, who you see on your screen right now, and then Kerry Clark came behind him and gave Williams a little shot. You'll see it here in front of the Salt Lake bench. Sabrin and Williams colliding, and then Williams got sandwiched. Down went Williams. Williams will get up, have a little word with Sabrin right here. Sabrin stands. He is trying to provoke another penalty, not getting off the ice right, as soon as he could, but he did not draw it. Darrell Williams, who is second on the Phoenix Roadrunners in goals scored this year.
Now a face-off at center ice between Strush, number 9 in red, and Breslin, 16 in white. Won by the Golden Eagles. Trying to feed Strush again, intercepted, and now Williams fell down. A couple of players have lost their skates here, just falling down. Surprisingly not getting hit. Most everybody falling down. There's been a good reason. They've been smashed once by somebody. Now Clark throws it off the glass. Gillingham behind the net. Clark ties up 2 players. The puck free for Struth. Clark behind the net. Throws it in front. Gillingham a near miss. He's taken down trying to center the puck, and it's cleared to center ice. 2-1. Salt Lake leading Phoenix. We're 3 minutes into the second period. Entertaining hockey game in Phoenix. A little on the wild side, but it's been fun. Now the Roadrunners. Tredowitz hits Couturier. Onside, but again losing his skates. Trying to stay onside. Was Long, and he lost the puck. Tredowitz. Couturier. Following the play, Long had his teammates onside and thought otherwise. Now it's dumped in wide, and this will be an icing call. Will pause. 2-1 Salt Lake. We're in the second period in Phoenix. Memorial Coliseum in Phoenix. With Dave Tennell, this is Ken Double, and you're watching the IHL on Prime Network, where Salt Lake leads Phoenix 2-1. We've got 15:20 left in the second period. It's been a dandy. End-to-end action. Too many penalties, but it's been exciting. And off face-off, McCarthy's shot fired wide. Here comes Phoenix. They've got a 3-on-2 brewing. Here's Darrell Williams. He can fire the puck. Got too much of it. It's out of play. Williams, who can fly, has 12 goals this year. Out of Belleville, he played his junior hockey in the OHL. Had 24 goals in Belleville in the AHL in his first year there, but he hasn't been close since scoring. He's been struggling a little bit putting the puck in the net, huh?
Yeah, he is not really known as a goal scorer. This, I'll tell you, the 12 goals, I asked him one time, if somebody would ask you if you would be surprised that you'd be the second leading goal scorer on this team at this point in the season, would you be surprised? He said, yes, I'd be very, very surprised right now. I tell you, he's a feisty player. He's in there 60 minutes every single night.
Now Breslin wins the draw, but Tiley can't control it. Oh, he lost it to LeBeau. Here's trouble. LeBeau carrying in. LeBeau centers. McCarthy didn't get all of it. Now to the far corner. McCarthy trying to keep it alive. Does for Chernomaz. This line is trouble. McCarthy. It's under a player and then smothered by the goaltender Gilmore.
I tell you, Mike Rourke is a pretty strong defenseman. How'd you like to go against this guy? Look at Sandy McCarthy. I mean, the guy's like 2 hockey players. Look at him. He's huge.
McCarthy.
Where does Salt Lake come up with these guys?
6'3", 225 pounds.
You know, 2 years ago, you couldn't play defense unless you were 6 feet 6 inches tall in Salt Lake. I tell you, it was just
and huge, he's just 20 years old. He may have a little growing up yet there.
Oh.
I'll bet his dad is real happy he doesn't have to buy the skates anymore.
Wow, well, what about the pants and shirt and everything else?
As as the puck pops over the board. I'll tell you what, an interesting little play there as the little guy Hafey got all wrapped up by Couturier, and Couturier quickly threw his arms away and said, I didn't do anything.
Yeah, but that's not fair, though, because Sean Hafey's only about 4 feet tall. So, I mean, when he reaches out like that to grab somebody around the waist, you've got him around the neck. But I'll tell you what.
The only 4-foot guy that played at professional hockey was my earlier color commentator, Darren Pang.
Oh, great player, huh? Darren Pang? Yeah. Sean Hafey, I mean, we talk about his size, but he plays like he's 6 feet tall.
There's another one out of the rink into the crowd. A lot of souvenirs tonight for the fans in Phoenix. Big house on hand at the Madhouse on McDowell. With Dave Tennell, this is Ken Double. We're at the Madhouse on McDowell, the Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Phoenix, where the Salt Lake Golden Eagles lead the Phoenix Roadrunners 2-1, 14:29 left in the second period. A couple of power play goals in the first period by Patrick LeBeau put Salt Lake up on top. Mokosak scored his second of the year, and now here's a break behind the defense. Lang got too far in front. Out of the far corner. He still has the puck, looking for the play and taken right off his stick. And now here comes Salt Lake the other way, and it's Forsland. He's dangerous. Offside called at the line.
Offside.
One move too many at the blue line blows the play dead, and we'll have more hockey from Phoenix after this. This is the IHL on Prime. Back in Phoenix, face off at center ice. The fire engine red clad Salt Lake Golden Eagles lose the draw to Phoenix, and here's Mokosak. Now Vucinic, and he can score. His long shot is also ruled offside.
I think when Mike Vucinic pulled up just outside the blue line, he knew he was going to pull the trigger. That slowed him down a little bit, sent his teammates offside on the right wing. Mike Vucinic played his college hockey at Harvard. He is noted as having one of the hardest shots in the International Hockey League.
This telecast is presented by the authority of the International Hockey League and is intended solely for the use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the IHL is prohibited.
You know, you get all the fun jobs.
Yeah, I guess. I wanted to talk more about the kid from Harvard who probably could have read that better than I. And probably could have found some bigger words to put in it too, right?
I doubt that. I doubt that.
13:48 to go, second period of play. Face off now in the Salt Lake zone as Tim Bothwell probably a little happier to see the hockey settle down somewhat and his team one goal closer.
That's more Tim Bothwell, really.
Vucinic couldn't control the puck. Salt Lake rolls it all the way down. It crosses the line. Mokosak and Clark, and they call the icing. Now Mokosak and Clark kind of stare at each other. That was a pretty healthy foot race down the rink.
I'll tell you, Kerry Clark played in Phoenix in their first year, 1989-90. He is still very, very well liked in this building. Kerry Clark, very, very colorful player, for lack of a better term. Watch them go into the boards here. Mokosak and Clark. Clark was trying to brace himself a little bit. Mokosak concentrating on the puck. So he got the icing call, and Clark just kind of rolled off the boards, shook his head a little bit.
He had 266 minutes in penalties last year for Salt Lake. Never scored more than 15 goals in any single season, but he's got 10 already this year. He might get it done this year, huh?
He might. He had over 300 minutes in penalties with the Roadrunners in their first year.
Chernomaz one-on-one. Flying down the middle of Struce. Couldn't swipe at the high pass. Trying to bunt it toward the net or swing at it like a baseball player and couldn't connect. Now coming the other way comes Phoenix. Here's Vucinic. It's in his skates. Try to swipe a centering pass back to Ted Kramer. Couldn't connect on that one. End to end we go. Salt Lake pushes it in and makes a change. Mokosak brings it here to the near side, and Tiley. He dumps it in shy of the red line. This is going to be, no, they wave off the icing. Not quite sure why they waved off the icing, but they did.
Neither do I. That came from way outside the center line.
Tredowitz dumps it back in. Holden. Funny bounce. Nicolak had trouble with the puck, but now St. Pierre finds Todd Prost. Chapdelaine bangs it off the boards. Now, here comes Phoenix right in front. A shot fired just wide by Bro. He collides in front with his own player, and now Williams is down. A penalty coming up on Salt Lake. Now Phoenix sends it to Chapdelaine. Up the near side as the goaltender Gilmore hits the bench. It's intercepted and touched by Harris. We've got a penalty coming up as Williams got leveled in front of the net.
Boy, Frankie Bro just missed a good centering pass, and a shot just left at the left post went off the backboards. He just missed scoring. But then when the Roadrunners saw the delayed penalty coming up, they picked up the puck. They were at center ice. They were trying to get an extra skater out there, and here's the shot by Frank Bro, just missing that left post. Then they went back down, and Bro gave a pass. It looked like he was passing to Daryl Gilmore.
On the far side of the rink, now you'll see the penalty here.
Nicolak just clubbing Daryl Williams from behind. Now I think there's a little discussion as who's the penalty on, and Sabrin's going to go in. And Kenny Sabrin was arguing. Our replay shows that it was Nicolak.
There were 2 or 3 players in front, and from Zelkin's angle, he might not have been able to clearly get a shot at who the guilty party was. He's clearly called the wrong player.
Here's Nicolak. Now Nicolak's on the bench going, no, I wasn't there. I didn't do that. I wasn't even out on that shift. Now look. Here's Ken Sabrin to your left. There's Williams and Nicolak hitting him from behind. Now you see Sabrin left of your screen right there standing up. And he is in the penalty box. There was the shot by Frank Bro, missing. And now from behind, here you see Sabrin right in front of the net. Williams getting hit. Nicolak was to the left. He should have gotten the penalty.
Now back to live action. Phoenix trailing 2-1. They're on the power play. This is their 5th power play of the hockey game. Right in front. Still loose in front. Still loose finally. Kidd able to get the glove on it and whistle the play dead. Couturier was there. Long was there. McCaughey was there. Phoenix knocking on the front door, the side door, the back door, but they couldn't get it home.
Watch Brad McCaughey in front of this net. Here he is trying to dig it out now. He's going to get smacked. He knows he is. He knows he's going to. He got hit from behind and then going down, still looking at it, trying to scoop it into the net. Hit from behind there again by Patrick LeBeau.
Now a face-off. To the left of the goaltender, Kidd. Phoenix 16, 20, and 1. Had a little run at it for a while. Won 3 in a row. And it lost a couple here.
Well, we talked about it last time we saw them in Kansas City. They're a very streaky team.
Now Long right off the side of the cage, right in front. McCaughey trying to connect to the far side, and Couturier couldn't quite do it. And the Roadrunners play the puck in their own zone.
That's a set play, looking for that guy alone at the right post. It's usually Brad Tyler. This time it was Couturier.
A minute on the power play. Long fired it wide. Funny bounce off the board, and Kidd did a great job to get a skate on that puck, or it slides right into the slot with him going the wrong way. Now McCaughey. Chapdelaine. Long, spelled Lang but pronounced Long. Tiley right in front, deflected, still loose, and cleared by Chernomaz.
You know, right at the end of that play, a smart play by Couturier. Instead of trying to jam it at the goaltender, he pushed it out in front away from him, hoping that somebody would be in the slot.
15 seconds left on the power play. Phoenix trying to tie. The puck in the corner. And a holding the stick penalty coming up on Semchuk of Phoenix. Now Chapdelaine touches. Here comes the penalty. Now this is going to put Salt Lake back on the power play in another 5 seconds. We'll have the call and more hockey after we take time out for this message. 2-1 Salt Lake. This is the IHL on Prime Network. 7 seconds remain in the second period of a 2-1 hockey game with Dave Tennell, Ken Double back in Phoenix. A face-off coming up in the Phoenix attack zone. And a big noisy crowd on hand, hoping their favorites can tie up the hockey game. We're waiting on Brandy Semchuk to get a new stick. He'll return and take the face-off, going against David Strush. Semchuk trying to keep the puck alive, and here's Kerry Clark around Tredowitz. Tredowitz has the stick on him. Knocked into the rink, and a penalty coming up. Tredowitz won't believe this call.
No, he won't. Tredowitz going to get 2 minutes for hooking here, and actually Clark had a hold of the stick and then went down in front of Tredowitz. Zelkin was skating away from the play and made the call. Now watch, here's Tredowitz, good defensive play. Now watch Clark. Clark will grab the stick right here, hold on, and then go down. Good move by Kerry Clark to draw that penalty, but he had a hold of Tredowitz's stick with the left hand.
Well, what does your stopwatch say?
I'm sorry, we didn't set a record. We were only, the penalty box was vacant only 1 minute and 26 seconds.
13:25 into the second period, the time of the Tredowitz hooking call. And now Salt Lake City back on the power play, 5-on-4 in front of the goaltenders for the next 2 minutes. Now the draw, and Wharton flips it up over the glass into the crowd. And a gentleman with a fine-looking cowboy hat has himself a puck. Just came back from the concession stand just in time.
He just got that Coca-Cola
and didn't spill nary a drop.
He's coming down the steps. The puck lands at his feet, and he goes, "Oh, excuse me." Picks it up and goes to his seat. Can you imagine? He sat down with his friend and said, "Hey, what'd you get out there?" "Well, I got a Coca-Cola and a hockey puck."
If he'd have bought a hot dog, he wouldn't have been able to pick up the puck.
Well, anything will happen at these hockey games.
Now Chernomaz will take the draw against his numerical counterpart, Tim Breslin. A couple of number 16s going at it. Salt Lake has the puck. Wharton dumps it in. Chapdelaine bangs it around the far side. Breslin throws it to center ice and then kicks it to center ice. Oh, funny bounce off the board, or that might have been a break for Bro. Now Salt Lake reloads the gun. Behind the relative calm and safety of their own net comes Miller. LeBeau has 2 goals already. Intercepted. An opportunity swept away, and a good play by Miller. Following up, Mokosak dumps it all the way down.
Boy, that was an excellent defensive play by Chris Miller. I'll tell you, he stayed with that all the way, Ken, and never gave up on it. Otherwise, and that stopped the break.
5:40 left in the second period. A minute left on the power play. And a very disruptive Phoenix penalty killing unit doing a good job here. Phoenix penalty killing, second in the league, just under 84%. That's outstanding. Across the line, Forsland. Interrupted there, but not cleared. Here's Hafey. Scramble in front. Still loose. Forsland scores! What a great play by Harris. A power play goal by Forsland, and it's 3-1 Salt Lake City.
That's a huge goal by Forsland, obviously, but prior to that, Hafey carrying it across the slot got hit pretty good, and he is still down in the circle to the right of Daryl Gilmore. Hafey here will pull it off the boards. Now coming back into the play is Daryl Williams, and Williams slashed Hafey across the legs, and he went down. Now Forsland right in front, getting his feet and shooting and scoring. For Forsland, his 6th goal against the Roadrunners in the last 3 games against Phoenix.
That's incredible. And now his 16th of the year by my count. Assists by Harris and Hafey. Harris really made the great pass. You would think he's right on the doorstep. He's going to fire. No, he sees Forsland coming in. And Forsland has an absolutely open net to shoot at. He made no mistake. And now once again Phoenix trails 2. Now the puck in the Salt Lake zone. Played ahead, and here's Clark. 1 man back. That's Tyler. And a penalty coming up. No goal. That puck went in the net, but Zelkin blew the whistle and said, "We've got a penalty here. No goal." We'll have the call and more after we take this time out. More hockey after this. This is the IHL on Prime Network. Kerry Clark goes to the penalty, or check that, Gillingham. Gillingham gets 2 minutes for hooking, and it cost his team a goal.
15-10 of the second period.
That had to have happened way behind the play. It's 2 minutes for roughing.
2 minutes for roughing.
It could have been either one, but it happened so far behind the play. Kerry Clark was carrying it into the zone.
And fired and scored.
Yeah.
Just as the whistle blew to call the play dead. So Phoenix back on the power play. Still alive. Trailing 3-1. Chapdelaine at the point. Tiley. Nice fake. Back to Chapdelaine. Try to feed it cross ice. Intercepted. Here's Chernomaz. Chapdelaine hacks it alive for Lang. Across the line. Drop pass. Couturier fakes. Looking. Throws it in front. Whoa! Nice job there by Kidd. I think that would have been wide, but you never know from whence the deflection might come. And Kidd smothers that one.
Yeah, what you're trying to do is just throw it into a crowd. Now, Couturier is looking for an opening. He sees his players get into position, so then he throws it in front. Long just spread his legs and let it go at Trevor Kidd, the goaltender, not deflecting it at all, and Kidd made the save.
I keep seeing Lang and saying Lang. It's long as we have the Polka Boys have arrived in Phoenix.
Well, these guys showed up a couple of years ago. 3 high school students here, and they're all in college now, and they've been a great attraction and entertainment here in the Coliseum. They only come down now on breaks because they're in college, of course, and so they had to come down to entertain the fans. Great kids.
Now the puck off the face-off. Played by Phoenix and Chapdelaine. Now Couturier. The fans hollering, shoot the puck, shoot the puck. Right in front for Long. Can't control, and it's cleared with 44 seconds left on the power play. 3.5 minutes left in the period. Phoenix with the man advantage, but trailing 3-1. Chapdelaine across the line. Out of the far corner. Battling over there. Bro. Now Semchuk. Tredowitz back to Semchuk. Back to Tredowitz. Cross ice. Chapdelaine, a little room. Deflected just wide. Still alive. The goaltender down. Kidd back up and in. Now Semchuk. Chapdelaine. Bro right in front. Deflected behind the cage. And cleared by Salt Lake. And now an opportunity for Gillingham. He fires one wide. Big bump along the far boards as Gillingham and Chapdelaine meet. Centering pass knocked down. It's getting very rough here again at the Coliseum. The puck played to Semchuk. Oh! He got hit up high and decked. What a smack by Holden. Now Clark run into the boards by Tredowitz. To the point, kept in by Holden. Everybody hitting everybody inside is now finally the goaltender Daryl Gilmore smothers the puck and gets a whistle.
And receive a $10 Roadrunners game coupon. It's
What an incredible finish to this second period as everybody's just trying to line up somebody to hit and going at it. There you see Paul Holden. Watch this. Semchuk right in front and boom. That's why they tell you you've got a stick handle with your head up. Face-off coming up. Or watch this one. Here's Gillingham. He measures a hit right there on Chapdelaine. Now we're back live. Here's Holden carrying in deep. Now the puck here to the near corner. Referee Zelkin trying to keep an eye on everything here. LeBeau centering, cleared by the defense. Now here comes Phoenix the other way. Vucinic has Breslin up the far side. His pass interrupted by the defense. Now Mokosak, the lone goal scorer for Phoenix, taken down at center, lost the puck. Here's McCarthy, got 2 players in front. Chernomaz fires, he scores! Chernomaz makes it a 4-1 hockey game. as Mokosak misplayed the puck at center ice, and Salt Lake made him pay. For Chernomaz, his 16th of the year, as you get another look. He just fired high. Gilmore got a piece of it on his arm, but Chernomaz finds pay dirt. Time of the goal, 18:25. 2 no-nos there. The giveaway at center ice with nobody home behind Mokosak, and also giving up the goal late in the period. Rich Chernomaz, 13-year veteran, getting assists. McCarthy and Wortman. And now it's 4-1. Phoenix in trouble here. 18:25, the time of the Salt Lake goal. And now it's taken away, and Nicola takes a big bump at center from Tiley. Good move by Tredowitz. The puck loose at center for Long. Long has Couturier here on the near side. Long leaves it at the point. Couturier slides it into the corner. Oh! Tiley took a run there.
1 minute
Right in front. Couturier, shot save, rebound. Cleared by the defense. Sabrin right there, and now Couturier glaring at Strush. Check that, it's Brost. 19, not 9. And we'll have penalties coming up here with less than a minute left in the second period. Right in front, Couturier fired right there. Kidd on the stop. Then Sabrin, and now you see the sticks up there as Couturier and Brost glare at each other. Nicola comes in. And there in the penalty box sits Todd Brost, 25-year-old from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. He'll go to the locker room as we have less than a minute remaining here in the second period. And the next time you'll have an opportunity to catch the IHL on Prime Network will be in Indianapolis at the Pepsi Coliseum as Atlanta, the Knights, take on the Indianapolis Ice. Check your local listings for the Prime affiliates carrying IHL hockey on Sunday, the 31st of January. That's my old home neck of the woods, Indianapolis, Indiana. Saw a lot of hockey there, going back a lot of years. In the old WHA days, in downtown Indianapolis, when I was a college student, I was the organist at the arena. I saw a lot of hockey long before I was broadcasting hockey games. Now Salt Lake trying to increase the lead. Wortman fires. Good save. The puck here to the near side, still alive. We're 4-on-4 in front of the netminders with those coincidental minors here at the end of the period. Taken away by Bro as he sends it to the far side. Phoenix is trying to complete a change. Now Forsland dumps it ahead. 15 seconds, that much time left in the period. Now Breslin for Bro. It was behind him. Forsland bangs at the center ice, and that'll be it for the second period of play. Big period for Salt Lake. They led 2-0. Mokosak made it 2-1. Salt Lake answers with 2 more goals, and as we go to the second intermission, it's a 4-1 hockey game in favor of the Golden Eagles, threatening to take 2 in a row from Phoenix here on Phoenix's home rink. What's in store in the final 20 minutes? We'll have our second intermission and more hockey after this. You're watching the IHL on Prime Network.
His tenure.